What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to the Casual Nerd Podcast, which is an extension of the Casual Nerd episodes formerly known as the Tea Talks, by the way. I know some people were kind of confused on that. Today, we have a special guest, and I'm so excited because every podcast I've had so far this year, I have had guests on the show, which I'm just so happy about. Today, we have on my friend and also a client of mine, Bron, who is also another YouTuber as well, who does a lot of sports content. Welcome on the show, Bron.
Thank you, Hipster. It's a pleasure to have, be on the show, rather, have you on. It's the wrong word. Take over your show now.
Taking over the Huggable Hipster Nation.
What's going on, guys? Yes, I am Bron. As Hipster said, I am primarily a sports content creator on YouTube, but I also do live streams on Twitch as well. The Twitch streams are for story games and variety on the weekends where I do community nights like Apex and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'll get plugs later in the show, I'm sure. But as far as that goes, that's about it for intro. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, if you all want to check him out and everything like that, you can definitely go down to his links. They'll be in the description below for his Twitter and all that kind of stuff. If you do decide to follow him, be sure to tell him that the Huggable Hipster sent you, because honestly, like, whenever, it was so funny whenever one of I hate saying my people, that sounds so weird, but whenever one of the people from the Hipster clan followed a YouTuber, they commented on their video saying the Huggable Hipster sent me. I was just like, it's not a clan. Technically it is, but it's not really.
I know what you mean, though, because I have the same thing. Like, you know, if I tell my my community, hey guys, y'all should go check out this person, tell them I sent you. But it's like, I don't know, that's a little weird saying that. So it all is still weird to me, honestly. I've only been doing Twitch for 2 years and YouTube for about like 5-6 months, so all this is still relatively new.
Damn, you know what's okay, you guys, I have been seeing Bron's journey from the very beginning. I've been editing his videos from the start. I can't believe it's been that long, to be honest.
Yeah, time is flying by, honestly. I'm very surprised at where I am from where I started as far as YouTube goes, anyway.
Yeah, and that's actually a perfect segue, by the way. If you guys hear me clanking something in the background, no, it's not gems, it's coffee. That's the ice, so just for warning.
Oh, nice. What kind of coffee you got?
Well, today we have Sumatra roast. It's actually one of the things I'm trying to get my dad hooked on is different kinds of Starbucks coffee, because he only ever has French roast. So right now I'm trying to get him addicted to all kinds of coffee.
Oh, man. I have a funny Starbucks story that I'll tell you here in a second.
Sure, go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't go to Starbucks ever because, one, I'm not a coffee person. I'm a tea guy, and I have pomegranate green tea this morning, matter of fact. But anyway, so I went to Starbucks. This was when I was at MagFest 2 years ago. And I was like, I'll go to Starbucks and I'll get a tea or something. So I go up to the waiter or the counter, whatever, and you know, I want to get a tea, and the lady says, "Do you want something that will taste good?" And my brain just goes, "Yes, of course. I don't think it tastes bad, number one." So she goes, and so I say, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay, fine." So, you know, she makes me a tea. I forget what it was. I think it was a chai or something. I don't really know. I don't remember. But it was like a mint or something. I don't remember really what it was. But anyway, I got the tea. I took a sip of it, and it was not sweet at all. And for those of you who don't know me, I like sweet stuff. My rule for drinks in particular, like tea or anything, if I can't taste the diabetes, it's not sweet enough for me, okay?
Oh my god, I love that. That's iconic.
So, that's how sweet I like my drinks. So like I said, I took a sip of tea and it wasn't sweet at all. And I already left the store at this point. I didn't know apparently you have to put your own stuff in there, or you have to tell them to do it for you. I don't know. I didn't know at the time. So I said, you know what? Whatever. Fine. Forget it. Next time I go to Starbucks, I'm just gonna get a hot chocolate. They can't mess it up. So now whenever I go to Starbucks, it's my hot chocolate. It's like, you can't mess it up. You can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, their hot chocolate's on point. I mean, unless you get like one of those specialty Frappa Mocha Hallelujah type drinks, you know, it doesn't really work so well, to be honest. I mean, this isn't a diss against Starbucks. You just always have to be very specific with what you want.
Yeah, and like I, as a first time person going there, I didn't know nothing. My girlfriend, she likes Starbucks now, and I'm still a little like, you know what, hot chocolate, that's fine. I'm gonna get that.
You're like, this is a situation that has been scarring me. Why are you bringing this up?
Yeah, right, right. Because she gets it. She told me she got some kind of drink, and I can't even remember what it was honestly. It's got I can't even tell you what was in it. I have no idea. It was all gibberish to me. Like I want to remember it in case I want to get her something, but I can't even remember what it was. So
That just reminds me of every time I go into Starbucks, I'm like, yeah, could I have a coffee with whole milk, some caramel, some easy on the skim, large, no, make it grande. And it's so weird. Like, I mean, like, I drink Starbucks every single day, whether it be the Keurig things or I actually go there, sit down and write. I know I'm such a hipster. We can persist from that. But whenever I go there, like, oh God, it's so funny. I've come to the point of where I will expect them to take about 20 to 30 minutes with my order. I'm not even joking.
oh wow.
Yeah, because the Starbucks in my location that's about, I would say about 10 minutes from me, is known for either messing up drinks, messing up the names, or just not delivering on time at all whatsoever.
Oh boy, yikes.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least they spell my name somewhat correctly.
That's a start.
Yeah.
That's a start. I just give my last name because my first name apparently is too difficult for people to one say or two spell right. So I just told my last name. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's interesting though is like I have a really somewhat easy name. I'm not gonna say it, but think of the yogurt company. That's the only hint I'm gonna give you guys. So the first topic that I really want to dive into with you, Bron, is I want to get your opinion on your experience of YouTube so far, because I know a lot of people have their preconceived notions, you know, how they view YouTube, whether it's, you know, because they've been on the platform for so many years or so many months or so many days. You know, everybody has their already formed opinion on this already ever growing platform that's been here for what, 10 years now, I think.
Right. Yeah.
I want to know your input since you are fairly new to the platform. You're almost half a year, I think, on the platform right now.
I believe so.
Yeah, so I want to get your take on how you have experienced this entire journey. I want to say, I hate using that word, but we're gonna use it for right now.
No, it's fine. I like using the word journey a lot, so I throw it out constantly. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, I've mostly been a viewer for a lot of my time with YouTube. I have some older videos on the channel, but they are currently unlisted, and you're not gonna find them unless I choose to show them to you. But I used to do cover videos on YouTube. Like I said, they're unlisted now, so don't worry about trying to find them. You're not gonna find them. When I started the sports channel, I was like, you know, let me get rid of all of these, make them private so only I can see them. But yeah, I mean, it's fun so far. I like it. Like I said, being a viewer for most of my time and seeing a lot of things that YouTubers have to deal with as far as, you know, nasty comments, good comments, anywhere in between, you know, the rise of ad revenue and how all of that works, and just the ads in general on YouTube, how people break up videos with, you know, ad here, ad here, ad here. So a lot of that stuff is interesting to me from a viewer standpoint, but from the creator side of it, you know, I'm not that far in yet where I can put ads on videos and that kind of stuff. So I don't know how that works, but the general just getting your foot in the door and starting to create content so far, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, it's one of the things where I'm really enjoying it. Just trying to figure out what works for me, what doesn't. I have a lot of ideas in my head that I want to get out, but it's just realizing that, hey, you have to set the groundwork first and get comfortable. Then you can start to work on the things you want to take more time to put more work into.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. I know that it was a bit different from when I started to when you're starting now, because you have this entire thing with COPPA. You have everything that's going on with, like you said, you brought up the ad revenue and all that kind of stuff. It's really tricky because I remember whenever I first started doing YouTube back in the good old days of early, I would say, oh gosh, early to mid 2016. I started in April 5th. So it was already going towards like graduation time. Everybody was getting ready for summer and all that kind of stuff. And getting into YouTube game after being a viewer for years, it was really interesting to see how everyone played the game of YouTube. And you really got to see different sides of just people in general. I don't know if you've noticed this as a content creator yet, but people will show their true colors more or less and show how they act in certain situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one thing to have a persona like Dr. Disrespect or anybody like that, for instance. But if you are just a genuine person, you are who you put out into the world. Versus if you're a persona, like you said, sometimes you'll quote unquote break kayfabe for those wrestling fans out there. You'll break kayfabe, and then you'll see that, hey, this person isn't really all they're cracked up to be or whatever. So just being mindful of that sort of stuff too, which is why I think it's just more important to be genuine. Not saying you can't do a persona, because you can, and people can work that out really well for themselves, and they have. But for me, that's not what I want to do.
Right. And there are people who are very, like you said, there are people who are successful at it. For example, like Colleen Ballinger, she does a lot of stuff with oh gosh, now I'm even forgetting her persona name. That's really terrible, but I'm forgetting her persona name. But those of you who do watch Colleen Ballinger, you guys know who I'm talking about. She does a lot of comedy. She does an entirely different persona where she pretends like she can't sing when in reality she can sing opera pieces. Like it's
okay.
So amazing to see. But proceeding from the content creation aspect of YouTube, I want to ask you a question. This is this is our point of where I don't normally spill the tea, but I'm really interested to know your viewpoint of it.
Okay.
Taking yourself away as well, actually no, reverse that. Not taking yourself away as a content creator, because you have to look at it from both aspects, I feel, of content creation and also being a viewer on YouTube as well. What are the things that you like about the platform and you dislike about the platform now that you've fully gotten into doing content creation?
That's a really good question, honestly. One of the things that I like about the platform is that there's so many different kinds of content out there for anybody. And, for example, for someone like me who's not really a handyman kind of person, I'm not good at putting stuff together and that kind of thing. If I can find a video on how to do, how to, let's say, tie a tie, for instance, as an example, then I can do that. I can find it, and it helps. And you have that kind of stuff. So there's so much different kinds of content out there for anybody who wants to either, learn a new skill or wants to be entertained or anything in between, motivated, whatever. There's so much out there for you to explore and find. And it's called a rabbit hole for a reason. And YouTube rabbit holes are really dangerous, honestly. You can go down one and just lose yourself, and then 10 hours go by, you're like, wait, what happened? My day is gone. I spent it watching videos on conspiracy theories for 10 hours. What happened? So that's one thing I like about the platform. The one thing that I don't like, though, I would say that probably all the changes that have happened over the course of YouTube's career, history, lifespan, whatever, and I think mostly because most of that could have been avoided if they would have done things right the first time. If you do things right the first time, you don't have to go back and, one, fix your mistakes, and two, just hurt the people who kind of got you to where you are at this point.
Yeah, because YouTube without the content creators is really nothing.
yeah, exactly. Especially with the COPPA thing in general. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but the only thing I'm gonna say about it is, again, you shouldn't have been doing that from the get-go. you knew what you were doing. You can't just, oh, what? We didn't know that we were supposed to do that.
Yeah, just play the stupid card, being like, what? Yeah. I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, and by the way, creators, now you have to make adjustments, not us. You guys do. because we don't want to get fined. You guys have to step up and foot the bill for it. And,
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's exactly why I put a disclaimer at the beginning in all of my
mhm.
videos, because it's like I just in case something happens and I have to go to court, I can point out to the judge and be like, well, they should have known what they were getting themselves into. I have a disclaimer right at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And for me, making sports content, especially, and in the sports content realm of YouTube, which is I think it's a fairly popular realm of YouTube. Um, excuse me. There's so many different people out there doing sports content. There's retro guys. There's guys doing, strictly Ultimate Team style stuff. There's guys like me who are doing mostly, franchise content and that sort of stuff. Anything in between, And I think sports is a really hard one to do COPPA for. And I say that because, yeah, it's sports and sports are for everybody, but and the content features athletes who are integrated into community with kids and all that stuff, but I think that just because you have athletes and it's a video game, doesn't mean that it's necessarily for kids. You know what I mean? I do live commentary over my games, and I do the games like I would do in real life. Because again, for those who don't know, I am a aspiring sports commentator as well. I do baseball. I'm currently getting to start baseball up tomorrow. Actually, is our first game, or as of recording, tomorrow is our first game. So very excited for that. But so um, I do live commentary like I would do if I was doing it, in real life, and you can't really curse. So it's not so just because I don't curse doesn't mean it's not for kids. And same thing on stream. I don't curse on stream. Doesn't mean it's not for kids. So it's a fine line, and you have to figure out how to manage it.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. And that's the thing where, like, a lot of people who do, like, toy reviews, like,
Yeah.
stuff like that, they're in a very interesting predicament as well. As, like, well, how do you label this? I mean, it's not just kids who like to collect toys.
Yeah.
Adults like to
Right.
collect the Pop Funko figures and all that kind of stuff as well. I mean, hell, I
Mm.
mean, I even one from, like, Overwatch and everything like that. It's interesting how you kind of, like, can describe something, but unless you have to be like really specific about everything. I feel like
Hmm.
what the entire thing with Kappa, all the rules that were coming into place were being very general with a lot of their stuff.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's interesting to know that viewpoint, because I've seen so many different viewpoints of why people either dislike or like the platform or anything like that. YouTube has done a lot for us, but they've also, not listened to us in a lot of
Yeah.
things that are very
Hmm.
just simple and to the point.
Exactly. And because for me, because I'm so early on into my YouTube journey, and there's again, because I'm so early on into it, uh, I am doing my best to try to keep my nose down and just continue to work on what I'm doing. And the same thing goes for Twitch, really too. Streamer Twitter is kind of crazy. Not gonna lie to you. And I don't like drama at all. So you'll never see me get involved in that kind of stuff. I'm not going to talk about it or whatever, just because I don't really care. It doesn't affect me any. Number one. Number two, why would I get involved and risk putting myself out there for more people to potentially, come at me just for clout or whatever? I really don't care about that. I'm going to do the things that I deem necessary for me and work best for me and my future in the content creation space.
Yeah, and so, speaking of just starting out on YouTube, is there any advice that you would give new YouTubers who are coming onto the platform?
Oh boy, the guy who's 5 6 months in giving advice. Woo!
I mean,
Rub my hands feel like Birdman over here.
honestly, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter how long somebody's on the platform. We all have something to contribute. You don't have to be
Absolutely.
on the platform for years and years and years to be able to give good advice.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. One piece of advice I would give, focus on your content first. I mean, your content is very important. It is what you are showcasing to the world. If you are editing your own videos, or if you're not, if you're editing your own videos, they're gonna be rough at first. But as you get better at it, things will start to take form and you'll find out what works for you and what doesn't. Me personally, I don't have the time to sit down, dedicate to learn how to edit videos, which is why I have Hipster here to edit my videos for me. Um, so yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Um, excuse me, but yeah, so your content's gonna be rough at first. When you look back on it later, you'll probably say to yourself, "Wow, that was me." So so yeah, realize that that's okay and that you're going to struggle at first, and don't expect that when you start your channel, to get hit with millions of subscribers and comments off the bat and likes or whatever. That doesn't work. That growth comes with time, and as you improve your content, people will say, "Oh, hey, I like what this guy does. Let me check him out and go from there." Because I've had people come in, midway through my current Madden franchise with the Ravens that I'm doing on the channel, and hey, I like your stuff, and they'll give me a subscribe, or whatever. We'll chat through the comments, and it'll be cool. So seeing that stuff, especially early on, is nice because you feel like you're doing something right. So, but even if you don't get any of that stuff, just keep working at it because eventually someone's gonna take notice of you, and that's kind of how it all starts, from there. Now, I didn't start with 0 subscribers because of my cover channel that I had years ago on the channel, but so I'm now up to 105, I believe, since
Yay!
I've started. Thank you. Since I've started doing content on YouTube, consistently is what I'll say. So just keep at it, and it'll take off for you, one way or the other. Just keep working, and you'll find what you're good at, and you'll find what you're not good at, and you'll improve on both those areas.
I completely agree with that. Those are some really strong points. And there's something actually I want to add to that. Whenever you're first starting, it's really like it's really, 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 really tempting to go into people's DMs and just like mass ask everyone to subscribe to your channel because you're excited about your work, you're excited about what you're doing. If I can give any piece of advice, just one thing that I can say, don't ask people to subscribe to you unless they're like really close friends or family, because if you
Mm-hmm.
ask strangers to subscribe to you, you're going to be labeled as that person who
Yeah.
is like the bot of the
Yeah.
YouTube world.
Right.
So
Who are you again?
exactly. So like
What?
I would and it's the same thing with Twitch too, like what I
Oh,
would
absolutely.
strongly
Yes.
recommend is get to know people first. If you're a gamer in the gaming community, get to know people who are other gamers who have more subscribers than you and who have like less subscribers than you. Obviously, when you're starting out, if you have 0 subscribers, everybody's gonna have more subscribers than you do. But and I know some people are gonna get butthurt by even me saying that. It's like, oh my god, I have more subscribers than my heart. No, you don't. Okay, just stop. Just stop. Okay, Linda. But whenever you are going at this, don't think of the numbers right away. Just focus on the content. And once you start seeing analytics and once you start getting to that first 100, you're on to something. So just keep going. Don't be one of them spam bot-hoes. I don't know. We don't need that. We don't need another spam bot in our lives that we have to delete
Yeah.
from our messages. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, anytime that I see that in my messages, I don't even reply to them anymore. I just, block and move on. Red Velvet, I don't know why, but, like, a lot of people hate Red Velvet. I'm just like,
I know. I'm like,
no.
what are y'all doing? The blasphemy is real with y'all.
It's like it has like just such a specific flavor to it, which makes it so unique. It's not like any
Yeah.
other cake. Like it
Yeah.
looks like something that a vampire would absolutely love, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
right? Yeah. It's red. Is it blood? No, it's not. But it's red. Yes. But no, not a blood cake, sir.
Yeah,
Or
it's
ma'am,
like
whatever.
it's like the it's like we don't discriminate over here.
Yeah.
So I know we got on a bit of a tangent with food because we're both foodies and we both love food so much
Absolutely.
right now. But the actually the next topic I want to go into is going to be a rather interesting one because I always ask a lot of my viewers and people who are friends of mine about this if
Okay,
they are
sure.
into anime.
Yes, I actually am into anime. I around my room currently, I have a Gurren Lagann wall scroll. I have some Ace of the Diamond posters, a Face 89 poster. I have a My Hero poster that I haven't put up yet. I have three figures that are currently up, and I have one that's waiting to be put out of the box. Uh, Two are from Kill la Kill, Satsuki and Ryuko. I have a Saber figure from the Fate Stay Night anime, and the last figure I have is Senjo Gahara from the Monogatari series of anime. So
Okay,
yeah, I'm really
you just made me so happy right now because I okay, for those of you who saw the podcast last time with D and Neo, we were also talking about anime. I am just so incredibly happy that you know about Fate Stay Night because that has to be one of my favorite animes of all time.
yeah, I love it. I love it actually. The whole Fate like series in general is one of my favorites, just because I like how they take figures from history and sometimes do some crazy stuff with them, like
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper, for instance, or they have some broken characters like Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is amazing.
Yes. I oh my god, I was so excited whenever they were doing the whole thing with King Arthur, whenever they were doing the whole thing with oh goodness me, what was it? The whenever she was first trying to summon her protector
Yeah.
to an extent. That was the first episode that I ever saw in the series on Netflix, which, by the way, hashtag not sponsored by Netflix. Not. In what universe do you think I would ever get sponsored by Netflix? Like, I'm. Okay, sorry. I'm just
But
like.
but but Netflix. Look, she's not saying she does not want to be sponsored. What she's saying is she's not sponsored yet. Cut her a check.
This
And
is,
while you're at it, cut me a check too. Shoot.
this is facts. I mean, these are all straight facts.
trying to get some money out here. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just interesting because like all of the anime that I've watched is on Netflix, and
Okay.
anytime that I go into it and I watch a series, I don't know if this is the same way with you, but if I get into a series, I have to rewatch it after I finish watching it. Like I get upset if it finishes.
Yeah, I definitely get you there. I watch anime on Crunchyroll and Netflix and Hulu. Now Hulu and Netflix are kind of like the secondary and tertiary ones. But Crunchyroll is the main one that I watch on, just because most of it simulcasts through the same day in Japan and whatnot as America, whatever. Um, but so that's mostly where I watch my anime at. But I definitely get what you mean. If I watch a show and it ends, I'm like, man, now I gotta find something else to watch.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I
So
felt when
I know how you feel.
what was it? Whenever I finished watching Anno Exorcist. For those of you who have not watched it, and I've said it so many times on my channel, Blue Exorcist is one of the best animes in my opinion because it deals with religion. It deals with basically the story of the devil's son being adopted by a priest. So it's really one of the best, and it has the best music in my opinion for an anime opening and closing. Like it's just absolutely amazing. So I mean, if you have it right now, I will give you a few seconds to go look it up, save it on your YouTube playlist because it's absolutely incredible. Go ahead, I'll wait. I'm right here. We'll wait.
I may or may not be going to my Netflix right now and and trying to find it.
It's funny because anytime that I watch that anime, I just get so hyped for the intro. Like oh my god, when you guys hear that opening song, you will understand what I'm talking about. But like, if I had to pick a top three, which I'm gonna ask you first, what your top
Okay.
three anime are?
Oh boy, top three. That's kind of tough for me because I've seen so many. Um, let's see. Number three would have to be Your Lie in April. Oh my God, it's so good. It makes me cry, and just thinking about it makes me cry. But I'm not going to do that. Number three would be Your Lie in April. Number two would have to be probably right now. Right now, it would have to be Ace of the Diamond number two because it's baseball and I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. And the story they're telling doesn't focus on just one character. They have each different character has their own story. It's a team, so it's not just one individual player. And my number one would have to be My Hero Academia right now.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. That's all. Those are some good, like, variant choices, though. In as story as I can't talk today. Okay, that's gonna be a blooper.
I love it. Yes, I'm with
Oh, good lord! I can't today. Why coffee? Why aren't you working?
it.
I was about to say, before I got so rudely cut off by my speech, that's good choices you just made.
Yeah, I mean, I have a variety of things that I'm really into. As far as anime goes, I'll watch anything and check it out at least once, just to like, because you never know. You never know what you'll like until you actually try it out. Uh, there's some obscure stuff in there too. Like for example, and I'm probably gonna get like some comments something about this one. Hit me, it's fine. Queen's Blade. It's so stupid. It's so stupid
I've
and
never heard
ridiculous.
of that one.
Oh my goodness! Look, look it up after we finish recording this. It's ridiculous. That's all I'm gonna say. It's ridiculous, but for some reason, I don't know why, I kind of liked it. And Keijo too. Keijo, it's another one of those where it's like it's stupid, silly, but it's like it's like, if I can describe it to you, it's like Dragon Ball Z, but with with boobs and butts.
Oh, good lord. Oh, no.
It's insane.
Oh,
So
no.
the basic, just real quick, Keijo. The basic premise of it is there's this new sport that's taking over the world, and it involves girls using their hips and their chests to knock each other off of platforms into the water. It's played in a pool. So there's a bunch of different schools, and they all get together and they all have a tournament basically, and it's ridiculous. You got a trailer, just it's ridiculous.
I mean, okay, I knew anime was weird, but okay.
Yeah, it's good though. I like Keijo. It's a sport one, so I liked it for that, what they were doing with the sport thing, and then they took it and made it kind of crazy with special moves and stuff like that. I was like, okay, fine, you got me. Plus the intro theme is really good. I love it.
You see, now you got me interested because anytime that I hear a good intro theme, I'm hooked. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
I have to see it through to the end. I know
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to say, but
Intro theme is really good. Let me tell you something. Any anime that has like a Lisa theme song, I'm all for. Lisa Calafina. Let me see. There's another one off the top of my head. I can't think of her name though. We're just pulling this off. But Lisa and Calafina are my two favorite groups in particular.
interesting. I have to look those up because I have not heard of those.
Have you seen Sword Art Online?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm such an anime noob, apparently.
It's all right. It's all right. Madoka Magica.
I have not. Oh gosh, I've heard of that one though. I heard it's so good.
It's so good. I was not expecting what I got with that show at all, because I had saw it in a AMV contest at Otakon a few years ago, and I was like, this anime looks pretty cool. What is it? And when they said, oh, Madoka Magica, I was like, I haven't heard of it. You go check it out. All right, and I was not expecting that at all.
Wow, damn! I love when
Definitely
animes can do
check it
that.
out.
I love when animes can do that. You're not expecting something and then it just hits you by surprise. I love that.
Yeah, it's a magical girl anime, but it breaks a lot of the tropes of magical girl animes. And it's got some really great fight scenes in there. The music is really good too. It's got some Calafina in there. That's where I first heard of Calafina. It's from that anime. So definitely go check it out. Another one I recommend is Ruby. That's by Rooster Teeth.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I've heard of that one. I need to look that up as well.
Yeah.
I've been, I'm so surprised. I've been watching anime since I was a little kid, and I'm so, really surprised I haven't heard of a lot of these. But I do have to say that, going on that note, my favorites that I would highly recommend, because there are some ones that I haven't told people that I'm interested in, some that, the audience will recognize that I've said before in the previous podcast. But Hellsing has to be my first favorite.
Hellsing is good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first proper anime I ever watched besides Pokemon. Because Pokemon, that's the first anime really everybody watches who doesn't know it's an anime, to be real.
Right, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, that kind of stuff.
And there are gonna be people here who are watching who are Dragon Ball Z fans. I don't know. I never got into it. It's okay. It's an interesting series. The premise is really intriguing, but I can't get past the grunting men who punch each other.
I was into it as a kid, and then I kind of fell out of it just because for some reason those kinds of animes they don't do it for me a whole lot anymore. It depends on how they're done though, if that makes sense to me though.
Right. Because like anytime I see one of those episodes, this isn't just to the series because I know it has a diverse culture and literature and fan base. But anytime I can't stop laughing, I'll see the series and it's like, I'm gonna fight you. No, I fight you first. No, I fight you second. I'm just like, fight.
Right, please.
So the second favorite anime that's very close to my heart. Not a lot of people know I am a big Sailor Moon fan. I absolutely love
Yeah,
the
it was
series.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to say any Sailor Moon character were to be my spirit animal, it would be Mars, Sailor Mars.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's witty, she's she's charismatic, That's not even a word. Wow.
You were close. You're so close.
Charismatic. Oh, good lord, I can't speak today. My God. Charismatic. That's a dictionary. Need to add that. Oh, good lord. Okay. She's charismatic. She's like really sassy at certain points too, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you watch the well, I mean, I'm probably, of course you did. Yeah, I can't talk to either. Way to go. Sailor Moon Crystal. Did you watch that one?
Actually, I didn't watch Sailor Moon Crystal.
You should watch it. It's good. It's good. It follows the manga more closely, from what I was told anyway. So, and I would definitely check it out. It's still your typical, monster of the week Sailor Moon, but it has an overarching story to it. So,
You see, that's good. That's good. And Sailor Moon for me always was that kind of really aesthetically pleasing but story driven anime and manga that would just keep true with everything. So I'm glad that's the case. But my third favorite, it has to be Ano Exorcist, which if I say Ano, it's basically blue.
it's blue.
Yeah. So like I know I got questions about that last time. I was like, I'm sorry. I always get used to saying like the actual Japanese name of it instead of like the English name of it because it's
That's
just
that's a question for you though.
yeah,
Do you watch them subbed or dubbed?
both actually.
Okay, cool. So do I. So for me, like you brought up Helsing, for instance. Helsing, I watched that English dubbed. Why? Because it takes place in England, and there's no Japanese in England unless you're a Japanese speaking person, whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I watched that in English. I watched Cowboy Bebop in Japanese because that was what I wanted to watch it in. People were saying, "Oh, you should watch it in English because it has these, famous voice actors in them." I'm like, "That's great, but I don't really care about that. I
Exactly.
just want
Yeah.
to watch the anime."
That's how I felt whenever I was watching Fairy Tale. Because if I'm gonna watch an anime, I want to see it both in the English and Japanese form. Like I want to see how they're both tackled. But I feel like more of the characters came out whenever I was watching it in the Japanese form.
Yeah, that's how I feel that way too. I feel like you get I guess how it's quote unquote supposed to be,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Exactly.
You know? And then too sometimes the character voices don't really match up how you think if you watch it in English the first time, you go back and watch it in Japanese later, you might realize, hey, this doesn't match what I thought it was gonna be like in my head. So for example, something I can recall, I was showing my uncle a scene from Gurren Lagann, and I had watched it all in Japanese, mind you. And the scene that I showed him was an English dub version. I was like, this is weird. Why do you sound like that? So it's not a knock on that on the actors in general. It's just something that I've noticed.
Yeah, it's the same thing I've noticed as well, especially like with a lot of animes who are like really just based in Japan and they have those roots to them. And the best one I can say, always I've said it before, it's Fairy Tale. And anytime that I see that and I see the Japanese version, I don't think of it the same ever again, and I'll just see it in the Japanese version because not to like diss the Americanized version, but it's not the same. Like if I'm going to see a classic Japanese anime, I want to be able to see the subtitles obviously, but I want to hear them speaking in Japanese.
Yeah, right. And for me too, it also helps me because I kind of want to learn Japanese. So if I can pick up on words here and there, then I'll recognize what those words mean. So it's like, oh, I know what that word means.
Yeah,
Or whatever,
exactly. That's how I feel about K dramas too. Like I know how to speak a little bit of Korean, and anytime that I was still learning, still am, it's still a process. My God, the vocabulary is the worst part to learn. By the way, just
Yeah, I
saying.
bet.
If you guys are ever learning Japanese or Korean, just know you are in a treat for the adjectives and verbs section. Just letting you know. Anytime that I would learn like different words in Korean, like for example, ancha. Ancha means to sit down. They would say ancha, ancha, and I'm just like, oh wait, I know what that is. This is sit down. Or if they would say the word pabo, pabo means you're stupid, you're a fool, you know.
Yeah.
So anytime that they would say certain words, I'm just like, okay, you have to know what those mean. Or if you're still learning, you kind of learn what those mean.
I had taken there was an intro to Japanese 101 panel at this past year's Otakon convention that I went to. And, you get to learn, basics, how to say your name, how to count, that kind of stuff. So it was cool for me because now I can, say my name is Byron in Japanese.
Oh,
Watashi
very
wa Byron desu.
yes, I love
So,
that. That's so cool.
it's kind of nice to be able to do things like that.
Yeah,
Just throw it in there.
You know what? Now that you said your name in Japanese, I feel more comfortable saying my name in Korean. So if you guys want to know like little bits and pieces, actually it's really cool because like one of my previous podcast guests knows how to speak a little bit of Japanese as well, and he was talking about that too. So I thought that's really cool, honestly.
Yeah.
That so many people are interested in learning so many different languages, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, if you want to introduce yourself in Korean, it's for the formal version though, not the informal version. 안녕하세요. 저는 Ariel입니다. 좀 반갑습니다. And it just means hi. It just means hi. My name is Ariel. It's nice to meet you.
There you go.
Yeah. And then if you want to tell someone who's just learning how to speak Korean to flirt with someone, you tell them 바지 벗으세요, which literally translates into take off your pants.
That's aggressive. That's aggressive.
There was a vlog that I saw of where someone was learning how to speak Korean, and they were literally like, they told them as a prank, go up to that person, say 안녕하세요, 저는 their name, because shonen is kind of like a descriptive something of like what you're about to say your name is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing they said was like, say 바지 벗으세요. And they're like, oh, okay, let's do that. The person just ended up walking away, and I'm looking there in awe. And this was still when I was like fairly new to learning, and I'm thinking, what did that person say? And then they came back to tail. They're like, what did they say? What happened? What did I do? And then the other person was like, well, I'm guessing you probably shouldn't have told them to take off their pants. I was like, oh, you set them up.
Right. You knew exactly what you were doing.
But
you set them up for failure.
But now I know what I'm going to be pranking my friends with whenever I go to South Korea.
There you go.
So before we end off this podcast, there's one last topic that I want to get into with you, Ron. I know that you are, of course, a big sports fan, and
yes.
I know that I want to know, and other people want to know, what kind of content is going to be coming to the YouTube channel later on this year, because not only am I excited to edit it, but I know a lot of people are going to be excited to see it.
Right. Well, the plan for now is to still continue to work with the Madden franchise with the Ravens. I'll probably be doing that up until Madden 21 comes out. And then from there, it'll be deciding, do I get Madden 21 or not? Because it depends on how the game's looking for me. Just because I'm a content creator doesn't mean I have to be up to date with the latest things. It would help for sure. But if I don't want to support the game or buy the game because of whatever, then I'm not going to do that. For example, I want to eventually do a WWE universe for the channel. However, 2K20 this year was not a good game at all for multiple reasons I don't want to go into for right now. Yeah. So I did not get 2K20. I still had 2K19 with all of my information on the game. So I would like to start working on a universe mode for 2K19. Also, NBA 2K19 as well. I would like to do a franchise on there as well. It'll probably be a completely fictional league. I have all the teams ready with the rosters that I want to use on my business. I have it all ready to go. I just have to actually, get things together for it and figure out how that works, because basketball is different from football in the terms of downtime and how to edit it goes. Mostly on your end, because I like to think about that kind of stuff too. With football, there's a lot of space to cut things out. And that's what basketball is a fast-moving game, much like soccer. It's a constantly moving game with very few stops in between. So trying to figure out how to get that to work is going to be the challenge for us as a unit to figure it out. But in the future, it'll be Madden content still, and further along in the future, definitely wrestling and definitely basketball. I just have to figure out how to actually get it to work properly.
That's exciting. You heard it here first, folks. I mean, I've heard it weeks ago, but you guys technically heard it first. So I'm really excited. Whenever you first told me that you were going to be diving into basketball, what I first thought of, I was like, please, let's do a Lakers. Please, let's do a Lakers game.
That I also wanted to do with the channel too, because, and this goes into the commentary side of things a little bit, so I'll get into that here a little bit too. So there's two different styles of commentary, really. There's radio and then there's TV style. So TV style, basically you don't have to do as much talking because you can see what's going on. But if you're doing it radio style, you have to describe a lot of things, so it requires more talking. And I've always done it radio style, even if things are being broadcasted live. For example, for the college game, baseball games, they're all broadcasted live. But I still do a lot of talking, just because for me, I'm more comfortable doing it that way, and I can talk to the audience about what's going on and things like that in case they don't know. So for football, for instance, the way I have, if you go check out the channel, the way I've set it up is there is a radio station called WPOE, and a quick little story how I came up with the name. So there's different call signs for radio stations, depending on where you are in the world and whatnot. W is mostly used here in Maryland, and I think it's on the East Coast, something like that. But and then POE is just Poe, which is Edgar Allan Poe, who was, famous author, the Raven, blah, all that stuff. You get it. So yeah, that WPU is radio station. So I decided let's do it in a radio format. That's how I'm comfortable doing it. So you'll hear a lot of, shotgun formation. He ran to the left, to the right. You have to describe all these things, because if you're not watching it too, if you're not watching it actively, you don't know what's going on. So having that extra element of you can put the phone down or have it up somewhere in the background and still get the gist of what's going on is important for me as the person doing the commentary to describe it to the listener, and for the listener or viewer, that way you guys have a better idea what's going on too.
Right, exactly. And, I think that's really crucial when it comes to any kind of content, but more so this one because you're literally going play by play with a lot of stuff.
Yes, absolutely, yes. You guys only see the half-hour version of the game, but I'm sitting there for an hour or so, talking through a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And, honestly, you guys, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, if you enjoy sports and the discussion of sports and everything like that, and you want to see more of that kind of stuff, please, I know I'm sounding like an avid at this point, but, I really do and truly mean it with all my heart. Anytime I have somebody on this podcast, whether it be someone from small to big, whoever they are, I really genuinely have them on because I enjoy their content, I enjoy what they do, and I really think you guys will enjoy not only his YouTube channel but his Twitch channel as well. So yeah, be sure to check out his stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure coming on here and talking with you and everything. I'll be here for plugs or whatever.
Yeah, and guys, I do have to ask you a question actually before we do the outro, because it was something that while I was editing one of your videos, actually I found myself laughing because I didn't know what the term was. Whenever the guy was like, or actually when you were saying face mask, I was like, is he about to do a facial right now? Because I don't know if that's such a good idea while he's throwing the ball right now. It's like it's some of that chamomile oil in,
Yeah. No, so go ahead. Yeah. Your question is about face mask and what that means. Yeah. Basically.
Because I know for a lot of people who know sports, they're probably like, Ariel, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. What do you mean? It's okay. It's fine. Face mask is a it's a penalty in football. Basically, you are not allowed to grab the front of the helmet where the you know how the helmets had the little bars on them. Basically, that's the face mask part of the helmet. If you grab the player you're tackling or just or anybody on the field by that part of the helmet, it's called a face mask. It's a personal foul penalty, and the team gets 15 yards and an automatic first down. So that could really hurt you or help you depending on what side you're on. If you're on offense, for instance, for example, let's say you get taken down at the 20-yard line of your opponent's territory, but there's a face mask penalty. You get 15 yards moved forward from the spot of that foul. So if it was at the 20, you're now up to the 5-yard line. Because 10 yards would be 10, add only up to 5 to the 5-yard line. So now you're 5 yards away from scoring a touchdown or getting more points. It makes it easier for you to score, and it also hurts the defense because now you've allowed them to get closer to your goal line. So
Damn. Okay. See, that's not what I thought at all whatsoever.
mhm.
Oh my gosh.
There was also the thing. I remember you talked about it a while back when you were editing videos. I remember when you first heard me say he takes the knee in the end zone. You were like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
Was he doing a Colin Kaepernick?
That's what I thought immediately, and I was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, the game company is getting brutal."
Yeah, I busted out laughing when you said that to me. I was like, no, that's not what it means. Basically, it's a way of giving yourself up for the play. There's two ways to do it, really. Well, a couple ways, really. But usually on kickoffs and punt returns, the way of giving yourself up is to call for a fair catch, which is waving your hand in the air, basically, to the referee, and that signals, hey, I'm gonna catch the ball, and this is where we're gonna start the drive at. Once you catch it there, the play is dead, and if you fair catch at the 10-yard line, you'll start at the 10. You're not moving. You're giving yourself up for the play. And taking a knee is basically the same thing, but you can only really take a knee technically in the end zone on kickoffs. Anyway, now you can't leave the end zone, run back, and take a knee. That's a safety. You can't do that.
Jesus. Yeah, I
But
mean, like, there was all this kind of different terminology that I was,
yeah.
having to understand and everything like that. I mean, like, you had to have thought of me as just, you know what? Think of it this way. I'm a toddler in the game of football.
And I'm helping you learn, and it's fun for me to have somebody who is energetic and enthusiastic about learning the sport, even a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Because
Like, people have to go in energetic about certain things, especially when you're working to make someone like really make their product shine.
it's really a collaborative effort. You as the person recording the video have to do a good job and give the person who's editing your video, the best chance to showcase what they can do for you, which in turn gives the whole product the right feel and look and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I do have to say, Ron, thank you so much for coming onto the channel. It was a real pleasure.
Of course, thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it the first time on the show. I would love to be back in the future if you would like to have me on.
Absolutely. And guys, if you haven't yet, please be sure to follow him on his Twitter, his Twitch, and his YouTube will be down in the description below for your viewing pleasure. And if y'all like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. It lets me know that you like what I do and my content. And you guys, stay casually nerdy as always. And I will see you all in the next video. And we'll see if I can finally finish up Silent Hill Homecoming. Night, guys. Night. Why am I saying night? Peace, you guys. This is just gonna stay in there the way it is. Peace, you guys.